there's been a lot of conversation around my friend groups recently about the concept of money and how much your self-worth is tied to it. I actually had a Zoom call the other day with someone that reached out to me, and he was saying he feels like he lacks a bit of purpose in life. He wants a bit of a guiding light in the direction that he should go. He's at university, he's 18. And one of the key things that came out of that Zoom call was that he ties his self-worth to how much money he has. That's why he's desperate to get a job. That's why he's desperate to hustle, to work hard and build up this net worth. How much do you feel that people's worth as a person is based on their net worth?
See, I wouldn't completely discard that money is not important. Fine. A lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people say, money does not buy you happiness and all of that stuff. I mean, you can only say that, when you have a lot of money, fine. But money can actually buy you things that can get you happiness, for sure. Yes, fine. So I would not completely discard that money is not important, but it's not the only driver in your life. Fine. At some point in time, when you have all the money, you got to look at a lot of other aspects of life that's going to continue to give you happiness. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be your children, and a lot of other point of view. Fine. Actually, there's a funny thing on money on Reddit, which I actually follow, which is called as Henry. Have you heard of them?
No.
Henry is actually a club on Reddit, which is called as High Earners, Not Rich Yet, club. Fine, which is such a funny thing, because there are a lot of people who earn, I don't know, millions of dollars, but they feel that they're high earners, but they're still not rich. So being rich and having money is different to different people. Fine. If I have $1 million, do I consider myself rich? Probably yes, but maybe it might not be necessarily same for you. Fine. So I think it's self-worth, it's the experience, it's the knowledge is what you really need to count as, as what you're rich about, not the money that you have in your bank balance. And for you to get that experience and knowledge, you really have to hustle, you really have to work hard, you really have to grind yourself. And only then you probably will be in a position that, okay, I can earn some money, from all of this hard work that I really have done. Fine. But chasing just behind money, and using money as a social status, that is the only reason that's going to get me known within the society, I think that's a wrong thought process. That might bring you success for the short term, but not in the long term.
Yeah, you see it with all of these celebrities that skyrocket to fame, and almost every single one without fail, if you could bet on them having a massive blowout and losing all their money or becoming addicted to drugs, sadly, most of the time you will win, because they buy into this illusion as well of money buying happiness, fame buying happiness, when actually it's not connected at all from what I've seen. And even just looking at research into what happiness is, it's got nothing to do with dopamine.
Yeah.
It's not linked at all. So all of these material goods that you can buy short term, they'll give you dopamine, but it's completely severed from happiness.
So what's happiness for you? I mean, I would love to hear from a 19-year-old. What's happiness? What do today's Gen Z people think about happiness?
I think there's a great element of confusion with what happiness means. And like I've just said, it often gets mixed up with dopamine and more hedonistic measures. And I'd put that down to the way that we communicate. It's through these shallow means of TikTok, 30-second videos. I always get frustrated that there's a maximum time limit on platforms like TikTok. They've started expanding it now, but it used to be, I think, 15 or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There should be a minimum. There should be a minimum number of characters you have to type on Twitter to avoid you just spamming stupid stuff that contributes to whatever problems we're facing. There should be a minimum time limit so that you actually have to have valuable long-form conversations with people rather than something that will blow up. But with that, it means that you've got very shallow metrics of success and perceived happiness through what you see on there. And it's much easier for someone to market the Bugatti that they're driving in Dubai than the family that they have at home and the job that fulfills them, even though it doesn't necessarily equate to what looks the best marketed on Instagram. So I think everyone's got a different perception of what happiness is in my generation. But I definitely sense this ambient feeling that something's off and that everyone's looking for something a bit deeper that does fulfill them, rather than buying the current narrative.
Yeah, happiness is minus the expectations. When you don't have the expectations, of what all you said, is when you really are happy in that sense. And I think it's such an important aspect of life. And you're spot on. I think happiness is very personal and very individual, but it's definitely not materialistic things.
Mm. And I don't know when I'll be able to get to the point where I say I'm truly happy. I feel like I'm almost there now because I'm enjoying the journey that I'm on. But I think part of having the mindset that I know I certainly have, and I'm guessing you've had to get to the point that you're at, is that you're naturally going to constantly shift the goalpost because that's how you progress. And this might be the completely wrong approach and I might burn out in 3 years' time, but I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying hitting goals that I've always wanted to achieve, doing things that I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid, and then shifting the goalposts and saying I won't be happy until this happens. Because I feel like as long as I take a step back to reflect on where I'm at and that I do have certain things that I've always wanted to have, I can still move towards these new goalposts without feeling too disenfranchised. How have you dealt with that?
No, I think, when I look myself in the rear view mirror, I think I always see it in a way of what I have built, successful relationships, successful relationships with my employees, relationship with my partners, relationship with my